assume the position, all right? I want you to pull the shoulder blades all the way down and back. Don't just get here. I want you to pull it so almost like the top of your head is touching the ground. Full scapular retraction and depression. Now, you're gonna drive 1 foot underground to activate the glutes, and 1 knee tucks to the chest to activate the hip flexors. It's called the row runner. Inhale down, exhale up. Make it harder by adding a row between reps, all right? It's a really nice corrective exercise. This will improve your gait, it'll build your back, and it'll also crush your core and get those hip flexors going. You know those money makers? If I could only do a single core exercise for the rest of my life, it would be the hanging leg raise. And I'll talk about why coming up. But first of all, there's a particular setup here that makes you get so much more out of this exercise. Number 1, put a medicine ball between your legs and squeeze the hell out of it. You activate the inner thigh and groin more, also the pelvic floor, all right? And that's critical because your pelvis and your lower back, they work together. The lumbar spine attaches to the pelvis. So the better our pelvic positioning, the better our spinal positioning, all right? So if you don't do that properly, you can end up hurting your lower back and not getting more core activation. Now the other piece of this, all right, this is gonna work your hip flexors and your lower abs, all right, in a serious way, especially when you talk about the range of motion we use. But anytime you get your arms overhead, it makes it super hard for your spine to stabilize. And you're working your whole upper body. This is a full body abs exercise. You understand what I'm trying to tell you right now? Like, this is the move that you want to invest in for your core long term. So we get here, and I like to actually, you got to be ready for it, but I like to actually loop the thumb over as well. It just makes it so that I keep the arms straighter and get more scapular and lat activation. But the first thing to do is, while you're here, can you, even from a passive, just can you hang and stretch and squeeze the ball? And can you feel comfortable in that position? This is actually one of my favorite things to do to actually decompress my spine and stretch my shoulders. The weight of the ball actually tractions the hips more and helps decompress the spine more as well, the weight of that. So that's just a great, anytime, anywhere mobility or warm-up drill, a little side-to-side action. I can do some shrugs. Now, can I pack them down and back and hold that position? And if the answer is no, you're not ready to lift the legs. All right, so the goal is, with that medicine ball, at least a 30-second hang packed down to get into the exercise. Now let's get into the movement. So we're here. I'm going to inhale into my belly to the nose, and then pack down, lift up, and get the knees above hip level. That's where you get the psoas and low abs really going. Inhale down. Hold it, squeeze it. Inhale down. Now, here's an extra little tip. My all-time favorite ab workout. I start with a 30-pound med ball. I do max reps, take a brief break, move to a 20-pound ball, then a 10, and then I finish with body weight. Triple drop set, and it'll be done in 5 minutes. The best abs workout of your life, but it's also full body because I'm hanging using my whole body weight. So, and typically what I'll do is about 5 reps with the 30, maybe 10 with the 20, another 10 with the 10, and then it's 10 plus with body weight. So just to give you an idea of like all the ways you can go with this, but such a good movement, and again, the spinal health benefits are off the charts. Do it today. The pseudo front lever is the ultimate test of your straight arm scapular strength. It's gonna really help build your mid-load traps, just pull your shoulders down and back, and it's the key to doing incredible pull-up feats. Now, you can get this done 2 ways. We're gonna go with a wide grip to really emphasize the scapular muscles, and the underhand grip is gonna give you more of a mobility emphasis. The overhand grip gives you more of a stability emphasis. So you're gonna feel stronger here, but you're gonna feel more of a stretch here. This you'll feel weaker, but it doesn't stretch your muscles as much because you're overhand. So this winds your hands and shoulders up into external rotation. And what I'm gonna do here is block the feet together, squeeze the legs together. They're bent at 90 degrees. I'm gonna try to get as far forward as I can to maximize that stretch. And then I'm gonna take a big exhale. Get back as far as I can, keeping the arms straight. Pause for a count or 2. Lower back down, stretch. And repeat. Try to just really arc back and pull down, and don't let the elbow bend. Now, it might just be a centimeter, an inch initially. The goal is to keep building the range of motion as you go, and the more you can hold isometrically, that ending position, the better. That's where you really build that true strength and ownership. And if you don't have that, you can also just modify by just doing shrugs where it's more vertically based. All right, that's where we start in these. Exhale up, inhale down. But obviously, that is next level for you to really get the contraction in that upper mid back. Or you can just do hangs if needed, or back off to hangs if you can't only do X number of the pseudo planche reps. All right, enjoy this exercise, and remember this: the stronger you are on straight arm work, the stronger you'll be on double arm work without the shoulder pain. Woo! Get ready for the best forearms, biceps, and back workout using just your body weight with the changing grip pull-up complex. We start with the hardest grip first, overhand, either for reps or a set period of time. You do as many quality reps. Inhale down, get a good stretch at the bottom, and then try to really squeeze and activate those lats at the top. Now, once I'm done with those, or cashed out, or I have to move on in a timing sequence, I go from that grip to neutral grip. Now I'm gonna hit more brachialis. So here we go, same concept. And then once I'm cashed out there, I finished with underhand grip, my strongest grip, maximum biceps recruitment, but now the pump is just precious. Pull-up is already tough, but when you add intensifying techniques like this, advanced bodybuilding protocols, it's next level stuff. And it actually decompresses your spine instead of wearing it down like a deadlift or other stupid exercises people do. Bye. There is no better exercise for your grip in your forearms than the one arm hang, but it's really hard to get to. After all, a lot of people struggle to hang from both arms. So what you try to do is once you can hang from both arms for at least a minute, ideally 2 minutes or more, you're ready to start dipping into or progressing into the single arm progression. But we need a tweener, we need a stepping stone, and this is one of them. So you take a hand towel and you grab it like this. Now, the higher I grab on it, the more assistance I get. The lower I grab on it, the less this arm can assist the working arm, which is this guy who's doing most of the work. So what you want to try to do is get like this. We'll get into a full hang position. And you can do this from a passive position to get it stretched, or you can pack the shoulders down and back and get more active. And you can see that elbow is going to bend a little bit, but the other thing that's happening here too is not only is this arm having to do more work, let's say 70 to 80% of my body weight is now on this arm, but not the full 100. This now is actually working hard, kind of a crush or squeeze grip. That towel grip is an awesome grip challenge. So both arms are active, but this one has put it at a mechanical disadvantage, an uneven weight distribution to get you ready for a one arm hang, but also strengthen the other hand in a unique way. Obviously you do both sides, and keep in mind, because both arms are working, you gotta take a little rest when you switch sides. You can't go right into the other side because you're gonna get weakened performance in that case, all right? But an awesome exercise, and again, this is so important for dexterity too. The squeezing of it, it helps get the digits going, all right? And that's very important for long-term health and performance too, all right? Especially if you want that old man strength. The pull-up runner is the best grip exercise for your abs and hip flexors. What we're gonna do here is, and again, I'm gonna show on both a door option and a typical pull-up bar setup, and just remind you on grip. Neutral is the most joint friendly, it's the easiest one, and underhand is gonna challenge your mobility more, but it also kind of puts you in a stronger position, especially with the flexed arm. Overhand is the hardest, especially when you go wide, so pay attention to that. Let's just go with a neutral grip here, and what you'll notice is because of where my feet are, and this is how you progress the exercise, you'll basically go to so here's a stretched hang, here's an active hang. Pull it down, and what I'll do is, I basically kind of just self-assist. So I can go here, here, and modify with this runner. So it allows me to kind of get the end range of the exercise. I'm not getting as much of a stretch, I'm also not fully hanging. So it's still a challenge, but it's a good place to start. Now, the one thing you'll notice here is because of the nature of my bar, I can do this properly with the arms straight, where I go from, see the 90-degree angles on my legs? I'll exhale one way, inhale the other. Doesn't matter which one. Look at my toes too. I'm pulling them back to the shin. Working my shin muscles. All right, now if I want to increase the challenge or I need to create space from the floor, do a flexed hang with the arms at 90 degrees. And now, what's happening to my arms and my back? They're getting smoked extra because of that. I could also start flexed and back off to the extended hang as I fatigue. And again, on a typical bar, same concept. All right, and on this one, I do have to, do it from a flex hang, otherwise my feet will hit the floor. But go slow, focus on trying to get the knee above hip level. That's what maximizes psoas activation, okay? There's iliacus, there's rectus femoris. Those are key quad muscles, hip flexor muscles that are getting worked. But if you don't get that knee above 90, we don't get the psoas. And the psoas muscle is critical for low back health, all right? So hit it hard. The alternating arm hang. What's great about this is doing regular single arm hangs for time is tough. Usually people start with like 1 or 2 seconds at a time, right? So by alternating arms, each arm gets to rest and we can actually work it for time in a way that allows us to build up stamina, endurance, and kind of a non-competitive or managed fatigue type of setup. Now, before I get into it, I want to talk the gripping on this. And what I want you to do, yeah, you can obviously grip it like this, but again, I'm a big fan of doing more of the hook, kind of monkey style grip. So kind of going over and then really smooth and just kind of hooking versus trying to over squeeze, which ends up not only burning out your forearms really quick, but also can create a lot of excessive tension in the elbow and make you more of a elbow dominant versus shoulder dominant puller, all right? Things we want to kind of avoid. So here's where you'll most likely start. We go self-assisted, back toes here. And again, if I go feet flat, I get a lot more assistance. And by the way, what you got to do in this, when you go one arm, it kind of wants to tilt you off to the side. So you got to really pull those shoulders down and back and adjust to it. And I can work in also some kind of passive versus active positions, okay? Or if you wanted to just kind of hang and move between that or do like a shrug, you could. And then I would just switch sides. And I'll be going like this for 3 straight minutes, okay? Just switching. Now, if I go on the toes like this, now it's much more of my body weight involved. And I'm just switching and hooking, okay? Passive versus active. You can mix in both. The most challenging option will be obviously your full body weight. So you could start full body weight, back off to self-assisted, or you could do it warm up self-assisted, try to get into this. But again, this is something I want you to add to your daily EHO, every hour on the hour mobility work too, as our normal practice. So we lock in and just keep hooking and switching. There's a point, obviously, where both arms are on, and then you want to release and kind of lock yourself down. If you are in a door frame, you could also kind of self-assist as needed, kind of making sure you don't turn or twist, but just try to get as active as you can, pull down, and you're going to feel this desire to kind of move off to the side. That's where the core contribution is really important. So just really focus on, instead of letting your body turn away like this, packing down and fighting to stabilize, okay? Very challenging, all right? Do the best you can with it. And again, self-assist, especially in the beginning, because of how much time you're gonna be working on it, it'll really feed the ability to eventually do this on one arm, no problem, without even thinking about it. But it starts here, and try to really master that hook grip. And this is also where it's really important. If you don't have grippers, maybe electrically tape your bar. Just make it as comfortable as possible to minimize calluses and discomfort.